Welcome to the very first episode of Conversations with Moyo. I hope that you watch till the end, and I hope that you find every episode insightful and knowledgeable. This is Zai'S spalace in Ikeja, and I found out about this business on my Instagram Explore. One thing that stands out to me with this business is that the owner of the business shows up every single day. I don't think that there's any day that passes by without me seeing one reel, one picture, one post showcasing the business. I don't know how she does it, but she shows up, and I'm so inspired by her. So this business is into everything men's clothing, men's wear, and I'm just going to be speaking with the CEO today on how she has managed to keep going despite how challenging running a business in Nigeria is. This is Conversations with Me. Guys, how are you doing? So I'm here with the CEO of Zai'S Palace today, and we're going to be speaking all about business today. So yeah, hi, how are you?
Hi Moyo. I'm good. I'm fine.
Will you believe that I don't know anything about you? I don't know your name. I don't know.
Are you
anything
serious?
about you. The only thing that I know is that you're someone who is always posting reels on Instagram, and your reels are always very funny, and
Thank you.
Yeah, so I would like you to just give a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay. My name is Adenike Adeyemo, and I'm the managing partner at Zai'S Palace. I'm actually in my 30s. A lot of people don't know that because I don't really look my age. And yeah, I know. I've been in this fabric business for 5 years, but I just had this flagship store for 1 year. Yeah. So I was a drop shipper for 2 years. Then I was a reseller for 2 years too, and now I am an wholesaler.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we're going to take it all the way back to when you started your business. So
wow.
Why?
Okay, well, I started in a very funny way because I was dating a guy actually, and he was always complaining that his tailor used to use really good materials for his caftans and all that. So one day I was not looking at him and I said, I can buy this thing for you now. That don't worry, let me enter the market. Let me do something. I was like, don't give me money. Let me go first. So I did, and then I got to see a lot of fabrics, different qualities, different colors, and I just got interested. It just became very, very interesting to me. Really, they came in different patterns, different textures, different colors. It was just really, really cool and interesting to me. Yeah. So after I bought it for him, he really liked it. He got a few compliments, and then I'm like, I can actually make a business out of this. So because I was done with NYSC, I'm like, what's next? But I did get a job though after NYSC, so I was like, God, this is as a side hustle and all that. Then I was young, it wasn't really, and there was nothing really internet selling and all that back then. So it was really, if you don't have a shop, you're not selling. That was back in 2017, 2018. So then one day I was just on Instagram and I saw somebody, I saw an ad. I'm like, ad? That was going on. It was all new to me and all. Well, I am a digital marketer though, but it was mostly websites, Google and all that. So YouTube adverts and all. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But because I've always had jobs, I didn't really put my 100% into it. So, and I went back to the market in 2018. Okay, bear in mind that while I was doing all this, I was actually sick. I was sick for 3 years. Yeah, I was sick for 3 years. It was actually very, very serious. It was very, very life-threatening and all that. But with all that, I was still doing all this. Yeah. I was still building Zai'S Palace because I figured, life threw me a curve that let's bend you this way. But it was a choice that I made that I wasn't going to let it define me. So that's how we started. We broke up though. So, but I did get Zai'S Palace out of it.
Exactly.
So after I went back to the market to see, let me see if I can get suppliers and all that. So it was a bit bigger than it used to be, because now people were doing it online, selling on WhatsApp, having Instagram pages and all that. So I was still like, I'm not sure I can do this thing. Yeah, I still love it, but I'm not sure I can do it. All this was happening in 2018 while I was still sick. So the ending of 2018, I said, even if I want to do this, I have to get my health on like 100. I have to be like fine for me to put my efforts into it. So I had my operation done. I did everything I was supposed to, and then I got better, and I'm like, yes, this is the time. I went back to the market again. I did my market survey, got a few contacts, bought a few fabrics from them just to see how it would be. Like, okay, if I start getting pictures from you to repost, am I going to be seeing exactly what I get and stuff like that? But I noticed that when I started drop shipping, I became relaxed. It's easy for you to get pictures from suppliers and post it. You're really not investing anything in it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And when customers pay you and you buy it, you get your profits. You really don't invest in it, you just spend it. And I told myself, I did this for like a whole 2 years. I'm like, this is how I want to continue. I can't continue like this. I need to discipline myself and get my acts together, because I'm not wired to be an employee. Yeah, I'm a very good employee. Everybody that I've ever worked for, they don't have any complaints, but I did it because I knew that there was an ending point to it. Like, I wasn't going to do it for a long time because I'm not wired to.
We're going to get to all that. Like, I'm so excited to like hear everything that you have to say. But let's get to like when you came on Instagram, when you started posting on Instagram. You guys, so why did you decide that you wanted to start posting on Instagram? Did you start with like, I know you said you started with like picking up pictures from like suppliers, but then when did you start creating your own content?
I started creating my own content in 2021. I remember vividly, because that's when I stopped being a dropshipper. That was when I quit my job too. That was when I invested everything I had in Zai'S Palace, and everybody around me knew that I invested everything I had. I told myself, even if I was going to be working from home, I had to do it in a way that was comfortable for me, because it's easy for you to be on your bed and get carried away. You are going to be lazy. You cannot lie to yourself and say, oh, I'm working from home, and you're sitting on your bed. It will not work. So I told myself, what do I need to make it a bit more professional for myself, so I would be functional? Then I set up a space in my dad's house, like an empty room, set up an office for myself, made a shelf, and just made it a bit more shoppy, so that when I wake up in the morning, I get dressed, even though I'm not dressed as if I'm going anywhere serious, but I'm moving from my room to another space. My headspace is telling me this is a workspace, so you need to work. So I started taking my own pictures, started creating my own videos. So when a customer says, because fabrics are very funny with colors, the color might be showing a kind of blue that is not even the blue of the fabric, because it's a picture. But because I have the fabric with me, I have the product, I can tell you, oh, the picture is a bit brighter, but this fabric is actually darker in reality. And because I started doing that, to build trust was easier, because when you see that the location is the same, the person posting is the same person, the finger is the same, everything is the same, the trust level is a bit higher than when you have different pictures of different products on your page. There's no way it will work. And I had my first Instagram page, I remember vividly, on the 26th of May 2021. It was on my birthday.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm so like, anytime I see your reels, I'm always like, wow, you're putting so much like work into like posting reels.
Thank you so much.
It's really amazing. I love your reels so much. And you've grown so well on Instagram.
You know, right? Thank you.
So
I didn't know you noticed.
Yes, I did. Like, it was everything that I just saw and I put together, and I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start something for business owners who are doing amazingly well. So yeah, what are the things that you would say has helped you grow on Instagram? Because like a lot of people now will say growing on Instagram is very hard. Like if you're a business owner now, growing on Instagram, I've heard a lot of people say that growing on Instagram is hard, there are so many people that are doing what you're doing, so it's very difficult for people to want to follow you. So what would you say makes you stand out and has made you grow on Instagram so far?
Okay, before I answer that question, I'll tell you that page that I opened on the 26th of May 2021 was actually deactivated by Instagram.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How many followers did you have?
I think I had about 4,000 or so followers on that page. What? And it was deactivated April 2022. I remember, because I was at work and I just wanted to log in and I'm like, where is my page? I couldn't find it anymore. Then I got an email saying that violation. I just took my faith because I didn't even know what I did wrong. So this page that you know me on was actually on 800 followers or so as at then, because it was my backup page. I didn't really used to use it.
So
do you understand?
2 years.
It is not. So when people say that it's hard to grow on Instagram, trust me, I understand. But the thing is, you need to know your target audience. You need to understand that reels are not for selling. Videos are for selling. There is even though Instagram has packed everything together, there's still a difference between reels and videos. Reels are supposed to be entertaining. Reels are supposed to teach you something, show you something. Even if you want to sell something, don't make it too salesy. I don't know if there's a word like that. Do you understand? Yeah. You have to know your target audience for your reels so you can tailor it to them. You cannot sell to everybody. You cannot be interesting to everybody. But if you know your target audience, you will be interesting to that person. The thing is, a lot of us overthink reels because we want our reels to go viral. We want people to view. We want people to comment. But you cannot tell people what to do. Just be you. Be yourself. And people that are attracted to you in a way, maybe they like the way you dress or the way you talk, they will come to you. But you just need to be yourself. If you pretend, it's easy to know. It is very, very easy because it's video. You can see it. You get. Yeah.
So, speaking of like being yourself and you know making your reels entertaining, I have a reservation about it. Like, you know, do you think that there's a line between like being entertaining for the purpose of like making sales and just like going overboard with it? Do you believe that there is a doing too much when it comes to being a business owner and posting reels?
Okay. So the thing is, like I said, you need to know your target audience. And you need to know the reason why you are making reels. For me, I make reels for visibility. So everything that my reels are tailored is about visibility. I make behind the scene videos, so you see that I do actually make sales. I make entertaining videos, even though they are not really. I make videos I'm comfortable with as a person, because the kind of person that I am, I'm actually not the kind of person that likes people seeing me, but I have to show myself because that's what Instagram at the moment wants. If Instagram changes tomorrow and say we're no longer interested in videos, I will go into my shell again and start posting just my products. But because that is what Instagram of today wants, I have to do it. But I cannot now do it in a way that I am uncomfortable with. I do it in a way that I am comfortable with. That's why you cannot see me use some sounds, because it's not who I am. I'm not attracted to some people and the way they do their reels, because to me it looks like, do you understand? So I am not that person's target audience, but people that are the person's target audience would definitely go there. And do you understand? So you need to know your target audience. It all boils down to and who you are as a person. If you are comfortable with making videos that are very, very entertaining, do you? But I cannot do it because it is not my own person. So I think everybody knows their target audience and tailors it to their target audience. That's it.
So it's about like being comfortable with the kind of.
I am comfortable with the kind of reels that I.
Oh, thank you so much. So let's talk about like having a business generally, right? What are some of the challenges that you face as a business owner? Because I've heard that running a business in Nigeria is extreme sports.
It is.
Yeah. So
you've been here. You've had some challenges that I'm facing.
Right.
So
what are some of the challenges that you face as a business owner?
Well, I'll talk about presently, because now it's different from the way it used to be. When it was just me, it's different. But now you have other people working for you. You have other people in your space. Even the fabrics that we have, you have to know your onions for you to get quality fabrics now. Because of the old dollar issue, the quality has really reduced. So now if you don't know what you're looking for, you will just buy nonsense. It's very easy to. So I think access to quality fabrics is like the biggest of them all. Like the biggest of them all. So a lot of people are fighting for the little quality that we get now, like the real quality ones that we get now. Everybody's now fighting for that one. So I think the biggest one is actually, and I think a lot of people have problems with access to good delivery companies, but I don't, because I have a very good delivery company. And I think maybe staffing, because if you don't have a good staff, it's get harder, especially if you are bigger. Like even if it's just one staff, two staff, it is actually very tiring. But for me, like I said, when I was going to quit my job and get into this business, I told myself it is not an hobby, it is actually a business. So everything that has to do with this business, I'm on top of it, from my inventory to my sales to the deliveries that go out, everything. You have to have a system that works. I have an app I use for my receipts. I have an app I use for my inventory. Every item in this store, I know. Do you understand? And because I've been doing it for a while, there is no aspect of my business that I haven't done myself. So if you tell me that you have a problem with it, I either correct you, and if I correct you and you're still having an issue with it, then that is you. It has nothing to do, because I've been doing it by myself for a long time before I said, okay, this is now too big for me, I need help. So there is nothing about my business that I haven't done by myself. So I think that's about it. I think product is actually the biggest of them all, the biggest challenge, because to get customers, you have to do the work for them to come to you. You have to. A lot of people, it's not magic. It is not magic. I told you how many years it took me to even get here. How many years of, and I think another thing as business, so a lot of us are not disciplined. We just want it fast, because the internet has told us that you can achieve so and it's not realistic. A lot of people call numbers, but let's not forget that numbers are different from profit. It's just revenue. When you remove your expenses, you remove your and you will actually not be making any profit at the end of the day. So when somebody tells you, oh, I made so million, ask them, in profit or in revenue? You need to be sure. So if they tell you in profit, then you can be like, okay. But if they say in revenue, hello, when you subtract everything, it might be peanuts at the end of the day. So as business owners, when you know your numbers, it just makes it easier.
Okay. So you said something about one mistake that business owners make, which is like having discipline. So I want us to like kind of go into like, what do you think are some of the mistakes that business owners make today?
Well, after being in business for as long as I have, and going through all the processes of almost quitting, not quitting, relaxing on it, putting in my efforts and all of that, I think the times that I'm relaxed is because I'm not disciplined. The times that I told myself that let me get a space in the house to walk in, because I know that if I'm on my bed, I'm deceiving myself. And I'm not deceiving anybody, I'm deceiving myself. So I put in every effort to get the space ready. And I think a lot of times people want things super fast. They don't want to go through the process. And if you don't go through the process, you cannot enjoy it. You cannot tell stories that people will listen to, because imagine if maybe if I had the help from the beginning, I would have loved it. But I'm glad that I did not, because I went through the process of being broke to having a little, to having, okay, maybe I can now invest more into the business and all of that. There's a point that in my business that after I sell the fabric, I told myself the profit, I need to buy another fabric. Do you understand? Yeah. Like maybe I would have to sell like 3 fabrics for me to buy 1 fabric, but I will buy it. And I did something again when I was a drop shipper, that when I collect the orders, I take pictures of them and then I post it. After I've given it to the customer, I post it as my own pictures because most of the time the way fabrics come, they are big, so they still have it. My suppliers still have it. So when I get an order, the customer is now shopping from my own picture, not from picture I got from my supplier. So during that time, my page was always filled with my own pictures and my supplier picture, my own pictures, my supplier picture, my own pictures, my supplier picture. But that helped me have a balance with discipline in a way that I know that I'm not chopping out the money this time around. And I'm saving. As business owners, you need to save. You know what they call vex money? It's very, very important as an entrepreneur, especially in Nigeria. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And again, a lot of times, I always say this and people think I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying. I think if you're a fresh graduate and you want to be an entrepreneur in the future, no matter your age, the age you graduated or whatever, I think you should work for a while. The only reason why I have a system that works is because I've worked with small businesses, I've worked with multinationals, I've worked with medium businesses that I know the processes that all of them had in place. So when I was going to start my own business, I took all the knowledge from all those places that I've worked and said, this is how I want to run mine. Because nobody would teach you how to be an entrepreneur. You just know you're not fulfilling. I mean, your job is not fulfilling to you, yeah? And you know that, I cannot do this. I have to do something for myself. But if you don't know the process of how to get it done, by learning on the job, no matter the department you are, there is always something that would help you when you become an entrepreneur.
And I also believe that working also like puts like structures. You're able to have structure.
God bless you. Because when I was working, my first job wasn't as tedious as the last one that I had before. I have to wake up as early as 4:30 just to make it to Ikeja, just because I have to be on my seat by 8 o'clock. I get to work earlier than that though, but because of traffic and I don't want to be late, and I did that for a while, like a long while. Like, the structure is not something that money can buy. There's no way you can be that disciplined when you're working for yourself, because it is yourself. You make your hours. But when you have done it for years and you've seen how it helped those people's businesses, you want that for yourself. It is very, very, like, it is super important, because even the customer service is different for somebody that has worked in businesses before. The customer service is always different.
Thank you so much. Like, I'm learning so much on this episode. Yeah. I want you to tell me, like, what makes a good business and what makes a good business owner?
What makes a good business? Because I'm into product business, I'm not service, so I would say what makes a good business is having your inventory in check. Like, let people around you know that you know what you're doing. Like, it's very easy for, like, Yorubas will say, if you are a lazy boss, everybody around you will be lazy inclusively. But if you are somebody that they can see you put in the work, they know the standard you have put in place, they follow that standard. So what makes a good business is having your inventory in check is super, super important, because, and having your books in place is very, very important too, because as money is coming in and going out, you should know where it is going to. Okay, you know how the money is coming in is from customers, but how is it going out? You need to know how it is going out. Yes, you are restocking, but the remaining where is it going to? Okay, I'm paying my rent, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for this. You need to know. And if you are the kind of that you're writing it on paper, it cannot work. Even if you are starting from your house, even if you are selling, you're buying products from whatever. When I was a dropshipper, I still had my numbers in place, because I knew that if I did not start then, it was going to be harder when the growth I'm praying for and working towards comes. You have to start from where you are. You just have to. I always say it. You just have to. You cannot think at the level that you are. You have to think 2 years, 3 years from now. And it's only a system that is in place that can work for a long time.
Absolutely. So, there are so many struggling business owners out there. so many small business owners.
Trust me, we are all struggling. Everybody wants to get
to a certain extent. I believe that
that place.
I believe that you've done so well for yourself. I mean, look at your store. You have a very amazing store, and I'm so happy that you talked about like the process that you went through. Before you got here, like it's so amazing to see. And I feel like I want you to talk to like business owners who are struggling right now. What can you say if you had, just imagine me now, I'm struggling, but I'm not a business owner. I am I'm a small YouTuber that is struggling to grow. So imagine that I'm a business owner, right? What advice would you give to me?
Like I said before, everybody has a process. There's a process to everything in life. So I've also struggled. I won't even lie to you. I have also struggled. But struggling is part of the process. If you don't struggle, you won't appreciate every 10 naira, every 20 naira, and every customer that comes to you. I shop from businesses online like myself, and the kind of customer service you get from a person is easy for you to know. For somebody like me that is very discerning, I can easily tell. Not like you're struggling or you're not struggling, but if they've passed through the process, it is easy to know. They appreciate every 10 naira that comes in, because they know for you to give them that money, it's not easy. There are a lot of people doing the same business online. A lot of people selling this. Some people even have better products than you, but they still come to you. So you should appreciate the fact that they even saw that you were worthy of them to give. So if you're struggling, don't sit in that struggle. Pull yourself out of it. Change. See, if you're struggling, there's something is not working. Sit down. Don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. The reason why I was struggling when I was struggling is because, of course, I wasn't giving it my whole. I was deceiving myself. Because I had salary coming from somewhere, but I was still struggling with Zai'S Palace because Zai'S Palace wasn't getting my 100%. Ogata or Gauta, me I go still chop now. Because I had salary. Do you understand? So I knew why I was struggling, because why Zai'S Palace was struggling actually, because I wasn't giving it my all. I was just coming in and going. You have to be consistent for anything to work. You want growth, stay consistent. And stay consistent doing the right thing. Not stay consistent doing whatever. Like I said, there is a target audience. You want customers to trust you. Then show us that you are trustworthy. Don't say you want customers to trust you and you are looking a certain way. Your brand is looking a certain way. It doesn't work. You want people to trust your brand. You want people to trust. Okay, let me tell you a story. When I lost my page and when I started putting all my effort on this new page, my friend shopped from me without knowing it was even me. Do you understand? Like, he knew I was selling fabrics, because on my personal page I don't really talk much about my fabrics because my friends are not my target audience. I always say that. I want strangers to buy from me. The thing about strangers buying from you is, you know they are buying from you because your product is worthy. Your friends will still come, but as a business owner, if you think because somebody is your brother or your friend, they have to buy from you, that's the biggest mistake you can make. If you target your business around your family and your friends, you cannot grow. But if you target your business around people that don't know you, to trust you enough to give you their money, then that is where growth comes from. Anyways, so my friend messaged me, was like, wanted to buy fabric, sent all the pictures. I actually thought he knew it was me, but apparently he did not know. We finished the transaction. He was supposed to send me the money the next morning. He did not. So I now called him. That Alpha, I've not got. Was like, I don't understand. I was like, it's Nike. Was like, was it you? I was like, yes. Was like, oh my God, I did not know. I had to ask him that why did he buy from me when he did not even know it was me. He was like, yeah, I remember that I said I sell fabrics, but he just saw my ad and said, let me shop from this person. And since then, he has been buying from me. I'm his regular plug, but it didn't start with him shopping from me because I am his friend. It started with him seeing my ad, coming to my page, seeing that the page was worthy enough. And please, I wasn't even here yet. I was still shopping. I was still selling from home. So it was still an online business. But it just shows that there must be something that I was doing right with my trust level. Meaning, like I said, if you want people to trust you, make yourself trustworthy. I take my pictures in one place. You cannot see a picture on my page and it's beyond another. When I was selling from home, my pictures were always in one position, one place. So when you see that thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, you know yourself that this person takes her pictures herself. I'm a fair person. You don't see fair hand today, see black hand tomorrow. Do you understand? So you just have to get your trust level high, and to do that, you have to make yourself trustworthy. It is that simple.
Thank you so much for that. So share with us like one experience, one funny experience that you had as a business owner, maybe with your staff or with the dispatcher. That one very funny experience.
Okay, so there was this day a friend of mine shopped from me. Like I said, the thing about building a brand is when you build your brand outside your family and friends, they later come to you. Like you cannot, and I see a lot of business owners make that mistake. You cannot build your business. How many friends do you want to have that will make you that money that you're looking for? Or do you really think that your family and your friends would shop from you over and over? And what are you saying? Are you telling good life and prosperity? No, you're not. Do you understand? So you need to build your business outside your family and your friends. So that day I sent fabrics to Oshogbo and it was a lot of items inside. So my friend now called me that the fabric has gotten to Oshogbo, that the man said he did not see it. I said, he did not see what? From late. And it was big, like it was actually a lot. It wasn't even just fabric. Another of our friends sent an item, so I packed everything together. So there was like over 200,000 naira worth of thing in that bag. He did not see what. From Lagos to Oshogbo, do you know how many places that bus would have stopped on the road?
You don't even know where to stop.
When it's not even. Wow. I swear, my head, she was like, that she's following him into Oshogbo. That's so they would search his bus very well. This thing was under seat. Maybe somebody had pushed it from the back to the front. It was in the middle seat.
So they had gone all the way to Oshogbo to that.
Because she was supposed to pick it before they even entered Oshogbo town. And I was on my way home. I wasn't myself. I was just waiting for the call that she would say she has seen it. And you know when you're waiting for something, 20 minutes becomes like 2 hours. Because I could not think straight for like the 20 minutes that she did not call. What could have happened? What I was thinking was, what if they dropped it in Ibadan? Or what if they dropped it in Ikire? What?
Wow, I've had so much fun speaking with you today.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for
this is actually fun. This is actually fun.
To wrap up, let's talk about branding, right? Because you mentioned something about like having branding dialogue. So what do you think that branding is? Because a lot of people on Instagram think that branding is, your aesthetically pleasing page. And do you think that is branding? What does branding mean to you?
So I think branding is very, very important because it talks about you before you show up. Meaning that it talks about your brand before they get to know you. And like I said, I put a standard in place for everything that has to do with my brand, that even when I'm not here, my staff knows how to pack a customer's order in a way that you won't even know that it wasn't me that packed it, because this brand was built on love for everything men, meaning that everything men style, and I love what I do enough for it to show in the way that I present it to my customers. I don't just send anything anyhow to my customers, God forbid. I take my time to pack it in a certain way that when you receive it, you know that the person that sent this to you is not joking.
So thank you so much for allowing me to do this. I absolutely had fun talking to you. It was so amazing speaking with you, and I'm so glad that everybody that I've selected, one thing stand out, and that's like there are people who don't give up, and there are people who solve the problem. Like your business solved the problem. You were looking for how to get like quality men's clothing, and by that you have solved the problem. And you know, it's just so amazing. I'm so glad, and I'm so in love with your space. This space is so
thank you
so amazing. So thank you so much once again for coming on my show. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Please tell them.
Yes, please subscribe, please. If you guys should subscribe, I'll come back and give you some juicy things. I've not finished everything today.
All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.